Everybody, this is Pastor Bonnie. We're going to try something fun today using this Art Glow resin, and we have the hardener and the resin, and then I've got all kinds of pretty little things that we're going to try. I'm going to try some live flowers, but we have this little neat little orb mold. I bought that on Amazon, and this is a ring mold, and I bought this one on Etsy. I'm learning, so I'm learning right along with you guys. So the last mold I tried wasn't as shiny as this, and I think the shinier they are, the smoother it's going to come out. So we're going to try the rings first. So what we're going to do is you mix equal parts of the hardener and the resin, and I'm going to just start out. I love these little measuring cups because I'm just going to put equal amounts. And then what you do is pour them together and stir them for 5 minutes. So I'm going to show you next what that can see. These are even, and I'm going to pour. This one's the hardener. It's actually easier to work with, so I usually pour it into the resin. The resin's super, super thick and goopy. And then bring it over so you can see it. And then what we want to do is we want to stir it. Let's see if I can hold it over. See how it has like those lines, like it looks like spider webs in there. That's the resin. It's very thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes, and then you just stir it until you don't see any more. See how you see those, the lines? Like I said, it looks like spider webs in there. So we're going to really stir it. I learned the hard way, if you don't stir it for the full 5 minutes, the resin will not set, it will not get hard, and it just stays tacky and gooey. So I'm learning right along with you, and we will see how these come out, and we're gonna go ahead and set the timer for 5. You can see we've got it, I stirred it for 5 minutes, and see it made a ton of air bubbles. So we have this little lighter thing that you use for like just lighting fireplaces and stuff. But if you go over the, see if I can do it, go over the bubbles, it'll pop the bubbles. So I'll show you in just a minute what that looks like. Get all the bubbles out. But what I'm going to do is try small pieces, because I'm going to use this glitter. I love this. It's just like a white glitter, and I'm going for an effect that sort of looks like opals, and we'll see if it works, what I'm going to try to do. So one of the rings I'm going to use this glitter with this kind of large pearl looking glitter, and then I'm also going to make a little matching ball to go with it. So that's going to be the first project. So what I'm going to do is pour a small amount into my cup. And I keep baby wipes handy. They're wet and moist, and I can get this off the sides and stuff. So we're going to put some of this in here, stuff it in. And then we're going to put some of the white glitter. And then we're just going to stir it. I have these popsicle sticks. Lighter, and I think I got most of the bubbles, but we'll see. So then what we do is we're just going to pour, I think I'm going to try this middle size one. And I want it to take its time. And then I'm just going to use the rest, and we'll pour it. I'll show you what it looks like in just a minute. See how all the little glitter sticks to the bottom? That's going to be okay for the little orbs. But for the ring, it didn't get very many of them in. So I'm just going to take my little pick and pick up pieces like this and just push them down in. You can use a toothpick or a Q-tip, but you can see I'm just, the little needle, the little wooden thing sticky on the edge. and I just push them down inside. Tried something different on the other ones. This one, you can see, doesn't have any resin in it yet. So I just took some of the little glitter and I actually put it in the mold before I put the resin on it because I want to see what it does. And then this one was the same idea. This is the one that I tried to poke it down in there, but it's hard to get it to go down in. See, you can kind of push it in, but it's a little bit harder to get it in there. So it may not have as many of the pieces like I want on it. So we're going to try to pour some on top of the glitter on this one, and let's see if it makes a difference. And you can see that there's not as many bubbles. Actually, there's a few. So let's see if we can kind of zap them with our fire starter. And then what I've done now is I've gone along and just kind of tidied up the edges because you don't want anything to spill over the edges of the mold because then it's harder. You have to clean them up after. So we have, you can kind of see them in there. And then now I'm going to add some of these really pretty little dried flowers for some different elements. And I also have some silver and gold flakes. So we're going to poke those down in there and try to get grab a little piece of it. It's hard to work with. Maybe I'll try a piece of the gold. I'll have to stop it and break it and I can poke it in there with a paintbrush. That seems to work pretty good. So you can see I've got that pretty little pink flower, and I find that it's a little easier if I pick it up like this and then kind of drop it into the mold to make sure that I have it all in there. And then I'm gonna see if I can put some more flowers in the other one. I've got some really pretty little, I don't know if you can see it, pink Swarovski crystals. I'm going to see if I can just put some of those down in there. Just make them, it's hard to see, I'm sorry you guys with this camera. I like to film with my iPhone camera, a little iPhone phone. But it's hard to get close up with it. You can put charms and crystals and all kinds of fun stuff in there. Just kind of poke it down in. So here's, you can tell, I tried to clean them up as good as I could. But we'll see what these are going to look like. It's so fun when you demold them because you have no idea what they're going to look like. So we will see. And now I'm just going to do the same thing. I've got the rest I need to use up, so we're going to try to pour it into all of these little balls, and we'll see what. Take this pretty little blue flower, and I poured some of the clear, so I'm just going to try to push that down inside. And I have to hold the phone to do it, so I'm going to push it in with my big toothpick. And we'll see in just a second. I'll show you. Flower positioned, and we're just going to push it down in there just like that. I just love it. And it's kind of going over into the other one. That's okay because we'll clean it up after. I probably put a little bit too much. Just for the fun of it, I have these weeds. I actually picked these when I was out today on my walk, and I want to see if the colors will last. So I'm just going to push those. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, push it down in there. But this one, it's just a little weed, but I thought that would look so pretty in there. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it in there first, and then I'll pour the resin on top. This one, what I did was I took some resin and put it in there, and then I put this one. It's easier to push it in after. I think that probably works better than the other ways. I've done it. These you can see they're pretty on one side and not very pretty on the other side. So you have to put them pretty side down. But I'm really excited to see what these are going to look like. All right, you can see, well, let me show you. So you can see kind of each one of them's got different elements in it. I have no idea what they're going to look like. That's half the fun. But I'm going to try my alcohol inks and just see what happens with these. So you just do like 1 drop. And then you have to put the white on it to push it down in. We'll just see what it does. And then we're going to try one with purple. So I keep missing them. And I'm going to work my way down through with all the colors. So here's our projects for today. There's the rings. And then here's all the little globes. And we will see it takes about 24 hours for them to really set. These may not take as long because they're smaller pieces, but I'm really excited to see what these are going to look like. And then I will share that with you, and I'll show you how to make them into jewelry if they work. And I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will be back when they are done. So we are getting ready to take these out. I got one of them yesterday, and now I'm going to try to pop the rest of these out. Let's see what we have. Oh, these are so cool. That one's going to be so pretty. Yeah, kind of pushed down hard on them. I love that. This is so much fun. So what I'm going to do, everyone, I'm going to finish popping these out, and then I'll show you the rest. Here's all the pieces. I like them. They came out so cool. And then these, I want to show you, these are the ones, see how cool those are? Those are the ones where we drop the ink inside. It just makes it look like they're little worlds. I just think these are really cool. I think I might take the acorn tops for these. When you tip it up like that, put an acorn top on it, it's going to look like a little fairy world. Just really pleased with these. And then next, we're going to take these out and see how the rings came out. But it's too hard to see. They're ready to come out, but it's hard to do it one-handed. So I'll pop those out and show you those. So here's one of the rings, and I love how this one came out. And then this one's the other one. I'm actually going to take some pictures too later so I can show you. These came out really cool. This one broke. I was a little worried about this one because I didn't fill it enough. So you can see that one didn't come out so great. There just wasn't enough resin. So I'm going to make these into jewelry pieces. I'll show you pictures later on. Is I made here's a little bail. It's going to go on the top. And I made a double loop and flattened it on the inside. And then what I'm going to do is glue it on top. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. I just wanted to end with a really special little story. So we just moved here from New Hampshire to Oklahoma, and I'm used to the woods and going for walks, and one of my favorite things to do is to find little acorns with the little lids. And so where we live, there just isn't any woods. It's all city and sidewalks. So this one day I was walking down the sidewalk, and lo and behold, there was all these perfect little acorn caps scattered all around. The squirrels had eaten the acorns out of them and left the lids. And it was such a reminder to my heart that God cares about the little things. You know, we think that life has big things, but it's really the little things that matter so very much. And the Bible says that every good and perfect gift comes down from the Father of lights, and it's so true. So I just want to encourage you today, enjoy the little things in your life. Enjoy the gifts that the Father gives you every day, the gifts of love and joy, peace, happiness, spending time with loved ones, doing things that you love. And I just want to encourage you to put aside the busyness of the day and just open your heart to His love, because if you look for it, He will show you. He will show you in the little things. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I hope you are blessed and have fun trying these out for yourself. And I'd love to see pictures. You can post them in the description box, and you can purchase these at the Father's Market at Etsy.com. And I just hope you be blessed. Thank you so much, everyone, for spending the day with me.